I did just want to say very briefly before we get into things, I hope that everyone is taking care and just doing okay with the whole situation we got going. If you're anything like me, I'm just hoping that this ends sooner than later and we just stay quarantined, get this over with so we can get back to our daily lives, get back to the gym and getting outside the house, because I'm starting to go crazy up in here. But this will be our end of first quarter update, and we've got a lot to talk about here because, of course, the broader markets, as I'm filming today, I believe we're looking down somewhere along the lines of 30%. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. Taking a look at our leaderboards, this is just the top 10 people that we're looking at. We don't have much change. In fact, Brian, Joshua, and Ken, they still lead the way at the top 3. We'll be showcasing the names here if you want to check out how you're doing. What I find super fascinating about this, and look how crazy this is, our portfolio challenge this year started with a balance of $100,000, and we've got 10 players. We got 10 submissions out of about 250 that are above the initial starting balance. So in other words, 10 portfolios out of 250 are in positive territory, the rest of us below. And it's a really good reminder to everybody out there just how uncertain the markets can be over the short term, and just how much we are really at the control of the markets when it comes to these short periods, which is why you just have to be so careful when you're investing over a quick, no matter of months period or even just a normal, very short term period is what I'm trying to get at. Regardless, Brian, Josh, Ken, Nareem, Luis, our top 5 going into the end of the first quarter. We've already touched on their portfolios last time, so we don't really have too much to recap. I'd say we take a look here at Brian's portfolio because it's still done a fantastic job. I mean, this portfolio, just to recap, it's up $74,000 despite the broader market crash, which is pretty hard to believe. Brian's portfolio, as some of you guys may or may not remember, it consists of Apple, which is down 15% with the broader market. VXRT was the stock that has really been propping up this selection of picks. This one's up 420%, which is obviously a key component into why his portfolio is still up amongst this market crash. Disney's down. ENPH was one that was up a fair amount when we did last month's review, but looking at it today, it's really dropping back down. It's still up about 8.87% as of today, but a substantial drop since last time. And then AMD is only down about 6%, which really in the big scheme of things isn't all too bad. To take a look very briefly, guys, I'll scroll down this list as always. I'll go down nice and slow so you can see where you stand. You can take a look at where you stand, again, starting from the $100,000 portfolio positions. Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place, man. I just need to get some fresh air. This is just crazy stuff. At the bottom of the list, and believe it or not, I'm looking at this live as we go through, same time as you guys are. I just imported the numbers to make sure everything was looking fine. But at the bottom of the list, we have a new loser. We have a new loser of the big, of the quarter. And Jason must be happy watching this video. Jason's probably like, yes, because he's moved up into second last. And David Faria down. His portfolio, starting from $100,000, has lost about 60% in value. We almost certainly have to go in and take a look at what his portfolio is looking like. Taking a look at the 5 stocks that he selected for the portfolio. SOXL down 64.57%, a company I am far from familiar with, no idea. TECL, another one that is not on my watch list. In fact, looking across the board, TECL down 53%. FAS down 75.19%, Cure, C-U-R-E, down 45.82%, and then EDC down 66.93%. None of those companies that I'm familiar with, none of these positions really doing too well over the first quarter of 2020, all down in the range of 50 to 60%. That kind of says a lot about David's portfolio and why he's in dead last. But that's just a quick update for you guys. I wish I had more to say. Honestly, again, looking at this ranking list, the grand takeaway is that everybody but 10 people are now below what we initially started with. If you went out and actually invested in the beginning of 2020 and you started with, let's say, these 5 stocks that you submitted for this portfolio challenge, you would be in the red. Unless you're looking like Brian, Joshua, Ken, Nareem, Luis, Carlos, Benjamin, Robson, Antonio, or Mike. And for those of you up in that top 10, congratulations for staying strong, sticking through the first quarter of 2020 in the green. But I think that will wrap it up for our quick update. We do have hopefully a Q&A video coming up hopefully very soon. I'm just gonna wait on the word from my dad, whether and when or how we're gonna be filming this, just to be in the most safe way as possible. But I've really got my fingers crossed that we're gonna be filming that either tomorrow or the next day. And if you're watching this, Dad, it's probably a good time to ask you, do you want to film the video tomorrow or the next day? And if you haven't already submitted a question, if you haven't submitted a question, you can head on over to our community tab on the channel, because there's a little post there and we've already got a great selection of questions that have come through. And if you have one that you'd like to be answered for me and my dad's Q&A that we'll do for the end of March, it'll be posted early April, go leave a comment down below. Go leave a comment on that thing and we'll go ahead and select some of our favorite ones and hopefully it can be discussed. As always, I thank you guys for tuning in to this video. If you enjoyed, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you have a comment, leave it down below. I'm sure most of us are probably not too happy with our results. Again, with only 10 of us doing pretty well. But thanks for bearing with me at the zoo of Brandon. Get up here if you want. Go. Bills, come here. You might as well come. Paw. Good girl. Give me a high five. Nice. What about a speak? Speak.
Don't forget about me.
Wow, that was a growl. That was a growl. Bye, buddy. Mila's shy. And scared. There's Reggie, too. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the video. Thanks for bearing with me through the quarantine videos. We will be back in the office hopefully very, very, very soon. But I thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.